hour, the White House playing defense over reports of secret email accounts being used by some high-ranking government officials. Is that okay, or is the government hiding something? Let's debate it now. Alan Colmes hosts the Alan Colmes radio show and a Fox News contributor. Tucker Carlson, editor of the Daily Caller and a co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Both of you.
Good morning, Bill.
I guess we can all understand being swallowed up by emails all day. I mean, what did Sibilia say? She said she gets 28,000 a day on one account. She gets about 400 on the other account. But there's a lot more to this story, Tucker, that the AP's reporting on. You okay with this or not?
Well, these people get a ton of email, and of course they have a private email address for inter-office email. Totally understandable. It's happened for a long time. What's not understandable is violating and evading the law by not making those emails public, and that's exactly what Kathleen Sebelius at HHS and other agency heads have done when asked by the AP under the Freedom of Information Act, which is a federal law that requires them to turn over information that's not classified. That department and others in government didn't turn over a single email on these private secret email accounts. They didn't even turn over the email addresses, the aliases. So, and when the AP pressed, they were told they would have to pay $1 million for that information under FOIA, which is, of course, a violation of the law. So, yeah, this is secret, this is wrong, and it's illegal.
A bigger point, I understand the point you're making there, but if the AP did not hunt for this information, would we even know?
No.
I guess the answer is no, right?
No, of course not.
Alan?
Well, it's the job of the press to get the information, and they should turn over the emails. I think they've turned over a few, but not as many as they should. But this whole notion that the emails are secret, and you touched on it, Bill, just a moment ago, they're not secret. We know that there are alternate email addresses so they can do business. Kathleen Sebelius is correct that if you're getting 28,000 emails, we all know what spam is, and we all know that if we're in the public eye, there are a number of things that come into a public email that will disable us from doing business.
They are secret if you don't tell anybody.
Well, this is not...
And they are secret if somebody asks for them and you don't hand them over.
Well, this is not the first administration to have more than one alternate email addresses. There's nothing secret about it. As Jay Carney pointed out yesterday, yes, they should be turned over. That's a separate issue.
This is what the AP writes, though.
Right.
And this is really important, guys. This is trust in government, all that stuff. It goes hand in hand with the IRS and everything we've been watching these hearings. Secret accounts drive perceptions that government officials hide actions or decisions, Tucker.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, that is true. I mean, this is by definition secret. Alan makes a fair point that the previous administration was, in fact, secretive and thwarted the press's attempts to get information about the workings of government. This was a key rationale, by the way, for Obama's presidential campaign in 2008. These guys are secretive. They're not telling you what they're doing. I will be different. I will have a transparent administration, which 5 years on has turned out to be totally a false promise. It's a more secretive administration by any measure, including by FOIA requests. This is not one person's opinion. This is measurable. They are not turning over this data. It's a violation of the law, and they have to.
I've got to run, but you mentioned transparency, and you're exactly right about that, Tucker. November 2009, January of 2009, that's all we heard.
Yeah. Well,
time and again.
Well,
where does that stand now?
I agree that there should be more transparency. I wasn't saying it was the primary reason for his candidacy, or that's all we heard, but I agree, we do agree in principle that I would like to see more transparency from this administration. They should turn over these emails, but I disagree with the word secret. We all know there are alternative email addresses for the purpose of doing business, which we all have to have.
We just don't know what they are.
Well, all right, well, you want, should we make public the president's, you want to make public the president's personal email address, and he won't be able to answer an email?
The White House is exempt from this.
You remember now, he does have a BlackBerry.
You've got to have the ability.
The White House is exempt, Alan.
You've got to have the ability to do business on emails that the public can't get to. You've got to have that ability.
Thank you, man.